All right, everybody. I just wrapped up Mafia: The Old Country. Man, oh man, any game that can get me to the point of tears by the end of the game is gonna get a 2 thumbs up from me. Wow, just wow. Especially like the last, I would say the last 3 hours of the game in particular were just non-stop story beat, story beat, story beat, story beat, story beat. And even though I kind of knew what was coming by the end, I was just like still, it was like when we got there and some of the things that I suspected that were going to happen happened. I was just, those of you who were there live, I was emotionally just roller coasters all over the place. So, um, Hangar 13, you did an amazing job with Mafia: The Old Country. This was my first ever Mafia game, and I gotta say, I didn't know what to expect. I had an absolute banging time. Having never played another Mafia game, I came into this, like I said, no baggage like a lot of other people have from other, entries in the series, which is one of the reasons I love coming into franchises late, because it gives me a chance to experience things for the first time and be like, okay, this is my virgin take on things. So, a lot of people were asking me during my playthrough, are you going to go back and do the definitive edition of the first game? I would love to say yes. I don't know when that might happen though, because I've got a jam-packed schedule until like December. So usually what happens is this end of December into January. Usually January is the month where there's not a lot of new releases, and that's when I go play things that I might have missed or things that I want to replay. If I get the chance to play the definitive edition of the first game, I would definitely like to do that. A lot of people have said it's totally worth it, since they redid it with graphics that are on par with this. So we'll definitely take a look at that. But having been my first entry into the Mafia series, this was great. It was like a blend of like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Indiana Jones of the Great Circle in terms of the gameplay. Like we had the kind of third-person sneak and like stealth aspects of Indiana Jones of the Great Circle with the sort of gunplay of like Red Dead Redemption 2, is the way I kind of see it. And then cutscenes that were like both those put together. And make no mistake, this is a narrative cinematic game. Which I know for some people is something where we had somebody come in today and said, well, I saw somebody complaining that they didn't like the game because there was too many cutscenes and they just felt like they were watching a movie and they didn't want to watch a movie, they wanted to play the game. And I was like, well, if you're coming into a narrative cinematic game like this and complaining about there being narrative cinematic cutscenes, you shouldn't be playing this game. I loved everything about it. The story for me was phenomenal. The acting, the motion capture, the writing was just all top notch. The world, it's kind of like a hybrid linear with some open world aspects to it. You don't get that many opportunities to do like open world exploration, but when you do have the opportunities to go out there and run around, whether it's on your horse or on your car, it does feel like a nice break in between the story beats, because the story here is very fast paced. It's constantly moving you forward. It's just a cinematic experience, one right after the other. They just roll you from chapter into the next chapter, into the next chapter, into the next chapter, and they never really give you a chance to stop and breathe. So from that perspective, it was nice to be able to take momentary pauses from time to time. And of course, having all these customization options to customize your vehicles, to customize your horses, to customize your outfit, and really give yourself a chance to play the game in a, have that avatar experience that you want. I played it with like story mode, locked the first time through, which kind of locks you into the outfits that the game gives you as you go through, and the vehicles that the game gives you as you go through. Now you can choose to, there are outfits where you can go through and you could turn story mode off. So for example, I had pre-ordered the game, which means there were cosmetic options that I could have used had I wanted to, and if you turn the story modes off, you can actually have your character look exactly how you want your character to look throughout the entirety of the game. And there's lots of different hairstyles, facial hairstyles, hats, suits, different types of clothing, different colors of clothing. There's different horses. The different types of horses have different. The way it works is you could spur your horse onwards, and each horse has a certain amount of spurring that you could do to it before it gets tired. And so there's that aspect of it, but then there's the cars, and all the cars have different like braking, grip, speed, and so you can choose the types of cars you want to purchase above and beyond the ones you get from the quest line. So you could choose to, check out the coloring of those and change those if you want. So lots of fun there. I think the most polarizing aspect of this game is going to be the length of the game. And I'm going to stop people right there and say, you have nothing to complain about when it comes to something short and cinematic that is still impactful. Because here's the thing. You go to the movie theater and you watch an 1.5 to 2 hour movie, you're paying X amount of dollars for that experience. No one ever complains about movies being too short, because movies are always going to be whatever they are, 1.5 to 2 hours long. And if you're looking for the amount of money you pay per minute, I want to hear all of you complaining about short books. I want to hear you complaining about short comic books. I want to hear you complaining about short films. I want to hear you complaining about all those things, and not just complaining when a video game is short. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload, or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Because this is a short game, that doesn't make the impact of the emotional and adventure that you're on any less impactful. Like, I think my gameplay, I'm gonna go look at my time here really quick. I had a total of, looks like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right at around just over 12, about 12 and a half hours was what it took me from start to finish, and I played on story mode. And I know some people have tried to knock that and say, well, for $50, I should be getting a lot more than 12 hours. And I'm like, bitch, please. I'll spend $50 to go to the movie theater with my wife, between 2 tickets and popcorn, and, I'm only going to get 2 hours of entertainment. So to get 12 hours of a cinematic narrative experience for $50, I don't have a problem with that. The value for my money is definitely here. Now, if you're someone who tries to get value per minute, then again, I want to see you bitch about movies. Because if you take a significant other to see a movie, even if you just take yourself to see a movie, you're still going to spend $30 to $40 just going to see a single movie by yourself these days, between the ticket, the drinks, the popcorn, the snacks, parking, gas, transportation, all those things. So the bang for your buck is definitely here, as long as you value entertainment as opposed to per minutes played. I'm okay with big sprawling games. We can have all the Baldur's Gate 3 experiences or the Cyberpunk 2077 experiences that we want, but it's nice to have shorter, tighter, emotionally impactful games that are nevertheless fun despite their length. And this, for me, delivered 100%. I don't have a single bad thing to say about this game. From start to finish, I was engaged. I had fun. The last 3 hours in particular were like jaw-dropping, heart-pounding, sweaty palms, tears coming out of my eyes at the very end of the game. Great experience. So for me, I had a great time. Definitely happy that I played this, and my first entry to the Mafia series. I definitely would like to experience more, and I'm curious to see what Hangar 13 has coming in the pipeline next, because this is my first game that I've ever played by them, and talk about a first impression. So for me and my money, we are very, very happy with the purchase of Mafia the Old Country, and I can't wait to see what you guys have to think about it as well. Drop those comments down below, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. And stick around, because I do play games for a living. We got a lot more games coming on the pipeline for 2025. Don't forget, daily streams kick off every single day on YouTube and Twitch, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe. Happy gaming.